Broadcasting live from the mixed up world of Hyrule, this is a Link to the Past Randomizer League. Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Bobtastic, and joining me today on commentary is Jet082. Jet082, how you doing?
I'm doing good. You and I get to commentate the hypest of Game 5 hypes. We've got Faraime will give an interview if we win versus the Phendrana Drifters. We started this morning with Phendrana Drifters up 2-1. And after that race, we got ourselves a Game 5 between Kohrek and Jet.
Indeed. We've got Faraime. Team Faraime will give an interview if we win out of the Village of Outcasts division, and Phendrana Drifters out of the Pyramid of Power division, facing off for a chance to face off against Team Sugoi in the Dark World Conference Finals. And the winner of this will take it all home. We have all dungeons standard sword assured key sanity, so lots and lots of dungeons today.
Absolutely. This is it's going to be interesting, certainly in the sense that with it being key sanity involved, usually what we say with key sanity is that it's a matter of how often you're going to dip dungeons as opposed to whether you're trying to avoid double dips. But I think this, with it being key sanity as well, it's with all dungeons, like, you're not going to have that reservation. Why am I blanking on the word? You're not going to have the reservation to go into a pendant dungeon because you got to complete it anyway.
The number one question about whether you can go into a dungeon or not is, can I beat it? If I can beat it, sure, let's go in and full clear the silly thing.
So
we need so because it's key sanity, you need some number of small keys and big keys. My favorite thing about this is since it's all dungeons, they have to find the castle tower small keys, which are really trolly occasionally.
Alright, so just a piece of heart to start. Now, they have the sword, but until they talk to the uncle, they won't be able to actually swing it. And the uncle will not have the sword. In Assured V31, they just have the sword to start. So Uncle can just give bombs. Oh, hey! This is going to be a very easy escape.
Very nice escape. Now, because it's standard, we are guaranteed to get the Hyrule Castle small key at some point along the way. As far as I know, I think it could have been in your house, just because of key sanity, but you're guaranteed to get it at some point before you have to use it. It is key sanity. All dungeons, key sanity. I'm sure most runners would definitely feel okay skipping the Ice Palace Big Chest in Ice Palace if they didn't have the big key. That being said, I know that some runners would put off Ice Palace without the big key if they had something else to do.
Yeah, that's kind of what the reservation I was talking about with key sanity modes, is that, we talk about in normal randomizer, usually the items that you're hard to find are like the bow or the ice rod, because they only open up a couple of things and are usually the last things you're looking for. The thing is that in Key Sanity,
there's like 8 ice rods.
Yeah, exactly. You've got like the Swamp Palace small key, the Desert Palace small key, Skullwood, Swamp Palace, Ice Palace big key. You have a bunch of things where a lot of times you're going to see runners doing dungeons imperfectly and leaving 1 or 2 chests because of missing an item and having to take that risk of it's not as important.
Speaking of missing an item, we did not mention that the glove was found here in the chest of escape. I didn't want to, like, completely gloss over that. It was kind of important.
Yeah, that is actually important. So Kohrek is starting to make his way back. He's got a little bit of a lead on Jet, but you know, this early leads mean absolutely nothing.
All right, so everyone basically, you know, very little time between the 2 runners coming out of escape. I mean, it may seem like a pretty big lead given escape. Like, you've got, it's about 7-8 seconds. But 7 or 8 seconds is something that one player or another could easily surmount over the course of the match.
Yes. You know, and to chat asking about, you know, trying to improve times in terms of key sanity. I mean, that is a lot of times in regular randomizer, you have obvious plays and you have things that you're obviously going to do because of the item layout. With the keys, a lot of times you're making more gambles because you're having to make a decision based on less than ideal circumstances. And a lot of times you're just going to be taking risks, and sometimes they pay off and sometimes they don't, and that's just the nature of how Rando works.
So, as is tradition, Escape did have a map, but in this case it was the map to Ice Palace. So we'll be able to find out whether that's a crystal or a pendant, but again, since it's all dungeons, it's not nearly as important.
Nope. Yeah, especially with it being all dungeons, you know, sometimes you do have to make the choice of going into a pendant dungeon, especially if the items lead that way. With it being all dungeons, you're going to have no qualms about going into a pendant dungeon, and there's the big key to Pod.
Okay. So that is one of only, there's one of a fairly sizable number of keys that you'll have for Palace of Darkness. There are 6 other small keys out there. In logic, it requires all 6 to beat, but in practicality, I mean, you could theoretically do it with 1, but you'd need to know that you're in go mode and not want to check anything else.
So we've got both runners doing the tree pull, getting a full magic decanter. Kohrek is just staying in the Lost Woods. Bush Crab's given 8 bombs today. Jet is going to go see what is at... We've got a map at Lumberjack, so won't be picking that up, because again, all dungeons. We're doing everything, no matter what.
Now, speaking of all dungeons, Kohrek just picked up a Master Sword, which gives you access to the first chest of Agate Tower, which could definitely have a thing, because key sanity. You know, normally the keys Normally, Agate Tower is fixed to have just keys in the chests, but when the keys are shuffled around, you can have keys anytime.
Keys in the morning, keys in the evening, keys at supper time.
Correct.
Oh, we got a flute.
And duck call available in Blind's hut. See, if Blind had just kept that flute with him, he could have gotten out of the dark world. Because we all know that the flute will, it will allow you to escape Ganon's tower. So, just saying. That duck has powers we don't know about.
Alright, so the well, we got a piece of heart to start. Got a map to Thieves Town. Speaking of blind, $20. The moon pearl, and another 20.
Alright, so we are a mere hammer or glove away from large amounts of Dark World access.
But before we do that, we have to enjoy the national Swag Deck Anthem.
Yeah, Mire's not important. Save and quit and Mire are the same thing. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so Kohrek is now heading into the chicken hut. Jet will be activating the flute after, throwing away half of 100 rupees. We get a small key to Turtle Rock. So Turtle Rock is one of those dungeons where it requires a lot more keys even if you are in go mode. But then there are other dungeons where they have, 3 small keys of it, within the dungeon somewhere, and you don't need any of them. Because dungeon layouts are weird.
This is true. This is true.
Alright,
Got
a
another
map on the library. So no real chance of any runner going back for that map. Nobody can say Fendrana? Do people have people... Is that not how you say it?
Who knows? Chat's being chat. Kohrek called the duck and then decided, hey, I need that heart container, so picked it up anyway. And then gonna flute to 7, see what the dam has for us. Jet joining Kohrek at the dam. And just $5. Torsui, I think that's how you pronounce it. Frime team won game 4, which is why we have a game 5, as we're seeing the $5, $20. Compass to Skullwoods, heart container, and a big key to Hera.
Interesting big key to Hera. That used to be back in the key sanity in like in the days when we were running the tournament and stuff, that used to be a required big key. Now it's perhaps not as much, although, you know, without the hook shot, you're still on the hook for getting that key.
I see what you did there. The hook shot could also be behind the Hera big key.
Yep, that tends to happen more often than you think.
Alright, so
While
Kohrek...
Kohrek went off to the Ice Rod Cave for getting a whole lot of nothing, Jet decides, you know what, I'm going to go to the Eastern Palace area.
And once Kohrek gets that map to Eastern, he's actually going to go to 6. Desert Ledge having a fire rod!
Okay, that is a interesting piece of knowledge. And Jet no longer needs the map to Eastern Palace, as he found out that the green pendant is in fact vanilla from Sahasrahla, and gets a blue mail for his trouble here.
He is going to go ahead and head into Eastern. No bow, no big key, so won't be able to full clear, but this is where key sanity is key sanity at its finest, I would say.
Yep, you got 4 locations that we can access, 3 in logic, and there is nothing that differentiates these places, except for the one that's not in logic, from any other Sphere 1 location in the logic. So while Kohrek didn't pick up any particular items, he did get a little bit of knowledge of that fire rod placement. So if he gets like a second glove and a mirror, or finds a book somewhere, he'll be headed to pick that up in short order, I imagine.
Kohrek is going to join Jet in Eastern. Compass of Eastern in the map chest of Eastern. With the glove we got early, Zora is technically already in logic.
That is true, yes.
For those that are hoping that Zora has something.
Right, third chest in Eastern is the second glove.
And so that's Dark World access.
And it does look like Jet's going to go ahead and check the big key chest here, as that could still be something important, although the logic would want you to have a lamp before you got it.
Finding the mirror of the book would be very interesting right now, because with having Dark World access, that basically would mean Mothula is open.
Mm-hmm. I mean, 6-heart blue mail moth isn't like the worst thing I've ever heard of, but it's close.
It is close. Yeah, I will agree with you on that.
Right,
Jet is going to go ahead and do fake flipper, and going to go turn in that Zora money.
Yeah, that makes plenty of sense given what's going on here. Now, Jet did not check Ice Rod Cave, so we're just going to be checking an island, checking a hobo, and then heading up to Zora. If he wants to check Ice Road Cave, he can always flute right back to 8.
Mm-hmm.
So as we expected, both runners did go ahead and check the big key chest of Eastern.
Kohrek apparently
Kohrek
took the wrong destination, was meaning to go to 6, so we're going to see if early Mire play.
Yeah. This is really just for Mire Shed at this point. No mirror, so can't access deserts, and no medallion. But we do get to see that the medallion is Ether.
We do also see the big key of Eastern was in the waterfall chest, which means big key to Eastern is Flippers locked.
And Mire Shed turns out to be garbage as well.
And there once was a fish named Zora. He gave you Flippers and vanilla, but in Rando he sucks. For 500 bucks, we did this trek for a key to Ice Palace. Yeah, we could use one of those actually.
I'm not terribly opposed to an Ice Palace small key. Alright, so Jet is walking out of Sanctuary for some reason.
Kohrek is heading into the Skullwoods area.
I feel like Jet might have spaced on the flute there for a second.
Probably. Kohrek going and grabbing a key. I imagine this is to better route the front.
Yeah, having a key in the front means you don't have to like spend a bunch of time digging around. You don't have to risk missing a key in the front somewhere. Kohrek's just gonna wait out that hand.
And so now Kohrek is going to show us the front. $50 to start. Red meringue.
That would have been relatively useful a couple of rooms ago to stun those Gibdos. Hey, there's our lamp.
We have a fire source.
What's the old man check-in logic? What's that big 20 we got in Eastern in logic? As if that were a thing. Yep, Dark Cross in logic. Plenty of other places.
Well, technically, since it was standard, Dark Cross was always in logic, but
Oh, yeah. We did Dark Cross 8 years ago. It had arrows in it. Alright. Kohrek entering Village of Outcasts. We're going to get some pretty standard checks, and then we'll see if he decides to dip Thieves Town. I like dipping the front of Thieves Town if I don't have the big key, just so I can check those 4 things. Key sanity, it tends to be a 4-chest overworld cave with a secret back entrance. And we have gone to Red Mail, as well as a bottle and sea house.
Alright, we got a small key to GT to start in Thieves Town. So apparently chat gets us mixed up a lot. This is the voice of Jex Refi. The other guy is Dr. Bobtastic.
Yeah, some nerd over here. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway. Talking about myself. Anyway.
Got another small key to Pod.
I think that's the first pod key we found, which is weird.
We also got a
And
Mire
there's
key.
Mire, yep. And Kohrek now finds himself in the unfortunate position of having to death warp with the red mail.
Alright. Brewery just has some arrows. Jet now gonna get red mail. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Digging Game and then Stumpy, or Jeremiah on the way to get Stumpy in Hype Cave.
That is quite possible. It's a little annoying to have to do blacksmith without a mirror, but sometimes you just gotta do what you do.
Alright, compass from Digging Game.
And we don't even know what dungeon it's to because Kohrek's not picking it up. I wouldn't pick it up. Forget that mess.
And yes, Kohrek is going to pick up Jeremiah.
Because Jeremiah was a bullfrog. He
And a
was
friend
good
of
friend
ours.
of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood a single word he said, but he tempered my sword just fine.
Nice.
I took him on a tour of the world by all the boys and girls. Anyway, I'm done.
Kohrek is going to take the time to go check the bomb vendor. Skullwoods and Pod are 5-6 crystals.
And that's basically all the information that's relevant for pendants crystals. I mean, you might need to know where the pendants are in case pedestal is a thing.
Alright. time for the Johnny Two Bombs Distillery. Explosive behind the back handshake for a Quake medallion, a heart piece, a small key for Pod, $50, and a hook shot.
Hey, there we go. That's an item. And I imagine that hook shot is telling Kohrek immediately, hey, let's go to the mountain. I mean, we're gonna go turn in Jeremiah, but then we're going to the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So as of right now, you can access the Old Man, you can access Spectacle Rock Cave, you can access Paradox Cave, and you can also access the Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot Cave.
Mm-hmm. Could see what you need.
You can't really access are the dungeons.
Mm-hmm. You can see what you need to get into Hera, but you can't open it.
I mean, Turtle Rock, but yes.
Sorry. Hey! Vanilla sword today!
He does temper your sword just fine. There you go.
So it's interesting because this has been... So far, both runners have basically followed each other neck and neck. Like, the only difference was Jet never went to Ice Rod Cave, but both pretty much rather quickly ended up in Eastern anyway. And it's just kind of been both of them doing near the same plays.
Yep, the closer the plays go, the more likely we are to see a Game 6. It's not particularly likely, but it's still possible. Yeah, Jet possible. Is going to do a minor deviation, going to check the Spectacle Rock Cave here before heading over to Paradox. Also get to see what's on top of Spectacle Rock.
Another pod key. Hera small key. $20. Brian Kane, $20.
And Jet has located inside the Spectacle Rock Cave the Bombos medallion. So, Mire and Ice Palace, anybody?
Possibly. For those that may be just joining us, we know Fire Rod is on the desert ledge.
Gross. And Jet will now be heading over to Paradox Cave while Kohrek will clear out the Spiral Cave prior to, I'm assuming, heading to the Dark World.
Does that, he will be risking leaving that Bombos inside Spectacle Rock.
Oh, we also got the small key to Hera in there. I didn't notice that.
So I mentioned that.
So I said I didn't notice that. You did notice it because I'm dumb.
It's fine. All right, but Kohrek does in fact head into Super Money Cave.
I mean, given his routing, that's the way you do it. But it's going to orphan the Bombos Medallion. Could be important, could be, useless. Jet seemed to be just a pixel too far to the right there for that bomb.
Alright, so nothing inside Spectacle Rock. Kohrek is going to check Turtle Rock Medallion, and it's Ether also.
Did appear to be Ether, yes. So the only place that Bombos could be required is to get into ice.
There's another pod key, so considering
Up
both
to
of our
4
runners,
pod keys.
considering both of them can hammer yump, that means we've got all the keys we need to get through pod.
Yeah, now, granted, at least logically, we don't have a way to actually get into pod. Because you gotta have some way to access the east of Dark World.
True. I'm talking about, like, once we get there, we have all
Right. Yeah. Now, I imagine either of our players is capable of doing what's called the Kern jump, north of, off of Skull Woods area. And yeah, as we expected, Kohrek is now going to get that ball.
So he is going to go ahead and pick that up. And be done. Jet giving us a better look and confirming that it is in fact Ether.
Alright, so where will Kohrek be heading next? Looks like over to... Oh,
Zora.
wow. Okay, yeah, he's going to do the Zora stuff. For a second there, I thought he was going to go into ice. I very much doubt that the purple chest was done. Both runners did do the blacksmith, but they would have had to go back to the Dark World to get the purple chest.
Yeah, neither runner has done it. I mean, we have that left. I'm racking my brain trying to think what else, but I think that's it. I
don't think anyone's done Sick Kid.
No, Kohrek did when he was turning Jeremiah in.
Okay, you're right. And so Jet and Kohrek now, retracing each other's steps. Kohrek having done this Mire shed already, and Jet having done Zora already. There's also the first chest of Aga Tower.
This is true. And that might be where Kohrek's headed.
Looks like it.
Jet now seeing the fire rod on Desert Ledge. And yeah, this is first chest of Aga.
Jet's going to be doing Agina's Cave and Ice Rod Cave here, I'm sure. So he did neither of those starting out. I like the commitment of either doing both or doing neither until you're down to basically terrible. Alright, first chest of Aga Tower.
Is nothing.
Rip. So yeah, purple chest seems like the reasonable play here. Ugh. Gross.
Feels like the only play.
Skullwood's big chest.
Oh! You're right, there is that. Which, honestly, you do that first, then you go check purple chest.
Yeah, Skullwood's big chest is closer.
Okay, Jet has done Ice Rock Cave, and now making his way, we assume, to do the same things that Kohrek is about to do. Namely, set up a bomb jump to check Skullwood's big chest. For a big 20.
Rip.
So, about that purple chest.
Ugh. I mean, if purple chest has the mirror, I'm gonna be mad.
If the purple chest...
But the thing is, if the purple chest has anything, it's gonna be locking the mirror, and therefore I'm gonna be mad anyway.
This is like the last race I commentated, where finally on my co-com, we commentated the seed, which was super fast, except for the fact that Ganon's Tower Big Key was on the torch, and so we had to find boots, and he was like mad the rest of the race, and I was loving it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say, if the mirror is on the lunchbox, I think I'm gonna have another one of those races where I'm gonna love it and you're gonna hate it.
And Jet looks to be sequence breaking some stuff here.
Looks like it. Gonna set up a current jump, but Kohrek has the only logical thing we have left to do, and it is the flippers.
Alright, well now that Eastern Palace big chest is in logic. Wait, is Kohrek actually going to ice now? Okay, never mind.
Nope. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he decides to do. Because really, all that opens up is Eastern Big Chest and Ice Palace.
I mean, it unlocks Pod.
That too.
What?
Whoa! Catfish with the hammer!
What in the ever-loving heck is this? I mean, Jet is going to have to get that, get those flippers eventually, but good lord. That's ridiculous. The good news is Kohrek is actually going north, and so he'll be crossing the river in the same location, probably go to Catfish, will still get the hammer.
We'll see. Keep going east, or does he go south? Yes, he goes east, he will get it. I think in think it's... Well, this might be better for Kohrek. But the thing is that with the hammer, you're going to have a reason at some point to go back to the Village of Outcasts area, either when you get the Thieves Town keys, or when you need to check hammer pegs, you know, you'll go get the lunchbox then.
So with this hammer, I'm actually really tempted to go into Ice Palace now. Like, for real. Like, not even memeing.
Considering that it's only 7 hearts and I'm a coward, I would probably be doing what Jet is doing and going into Pod instead. But
if you're a coward, you've got red mail, so you're fine. That's what red mail is for, right? Cowards.
True, but still. Alright, big 20 in the first chest. Now, as we said earlier, 4 keys are all you need to get through Pod. However, that requires you to have the bow to not burn a key on this door. So by burning a key on that door, Jet now needs an extra one.
Or you could do potion glitch or mimic clip or something like that, but how about no?
Nah, Jet's just committing.
Kohrek appears to be going Tower of Hera.
Not gonna lie, I like the play. It's a full clearable dungeon. 6 items in there. If you decide to do a coffee break, there's a potion for Jet to potion glitch if he so chooses.
The big old 10 bomb drop, as well as the map of this dungeon. Thanks a lot, game.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to save the hammer jump for last because he doesn't have a mirror, so he can't get out any other way.
Nope.
And vanilla small key, as is tradition.
And the 6th one is in Hera.
Well, there we go.
And Kohrek is going to go ahead and do the coffee break before finishing the dungeon.
Fair enough. The big key of Turtle Rock hiding in the big chest of Pod. And a bow! What?
Well,
Okay, game. Thanks.
Pod is full clearable now. And a Mire small key in the coffee break room.
Yeah, that is the second one of those we found. I believe the other one was in the front of Thieves Town. Now, the only way that those ever matter is in logic, they lock the left 2 chests in Mire. That's it. And you have to have all 3. What?
Wait, was there... Wait, both of the bows were in Pod?!
Not only that, but both of the bows were locked behind all the small keys. One was in the dark maze, one was in the big key chest. What the heck is this game? I'm still saying Mire and Ice Palace, though. That's what I'm saying.
All right, time for Kohrek to take a ride down on the roller coaster. And there's the third Mire key. A swing and a spin and a troll is a dead. And 48 minutes in, we have our first crystal.
So the map and compass and logic, I can't remember. Like, I remember they used to be required to complete their dungeon, but I'm not sure if that's the case anymore. Before you pick up the dungeon prize, okay, that makes sense. That's like reverse spike cam.
I missed it. What was it?
It was the cape.
Ah, yes. Okay, now I get the reverse. Let's see.
Alright, so as we expected, Kohrek is going to head to Pod now, so not going to miss out on those bows for too long. But also, seriously, what? Why? How are both bows in there?
Don't know.
Hera was a big pile of garbo. Oh, you're right. Hera did have the remaining pod small key. Yeah, and when Kohrek checks the Harmless Hellway here in Pod, pay attention to the key, because it's a different color than the other keys. All the vanilla keys are slightly darker.
Alright, so being the video game developer that I am want to do, or that I am want to check the code. Here's what I'm seeing. For the boss, it says, in terms of the requirements for the boss, I see that there is a not wild compasses, which I assume means random, like it's random in the dungeon pool, but I could be wrong. Or that you have the compass, or that the compass is on the boss. So...
Yeah, and I'm assuming the map is also part of that.
Yep, that's the next line down.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Oh, interesting. The big chest of Eastern has the first castle tower small key.
Kohrek is going to go ahead and finish Helmassar first, and then do the rest of the dungeon. While Jet is on his way to the Armos Knights.
Silver Arrow's making absolute quick work of those Armos, and that's going to give Jet the green pendant, which you can go turn in immediately.
So, green pendant Sahasrahla is the ether.
Ho ho! Well, there's your access medallion for Turtle Rock and Misery Mine.
Might that
Looks
be
like
where Jet's
going to
heading?
fire.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, Jet does not have the Cane of Samaria, and does not have a mirror to get to desert. So he's doing this without any guarantee that he'll be able to beat this dungeon. He also doesn't have the big key for Mire.
Nope.
He might be influenced by the fact that he knows where all three Mire small keys are. Or wait, no, he doesn't have all three Mire small keys, does he?
Kohrek finishing pod.
And we see Jet making an immediate play to the left side. Well, I mean, at least to hit the switch.
He is going to go and do
Yep,
left
he's
side.
going
though.
for these chests.
Whoa! What? All right, this seed.
Okay, game. I mean, it still doesn't really help Jet here that much because he doesn't have the big key for the dungeon. In before big key of Mire shows up. Alright, so Jet has cleared out left side of Mire. As we stated, those three keys can mean something. We have the swamp key. Okay.
Useful. Still locked by the mirror.
The Jet would still have to find the flippers.
Oh, okay! Okay!
Jet? Jet, are you psychic?
I hear my old English teacher in my head. My old English teacher in my head saying, either psychic or psychotic, one of the two.
Yep.
So the one thing we do have to point out, it looks like Jet has taken a big advantage. But he kern jumped to get his hammer at Catfish. He does not have the flippers. So, unless... The only thing that we have to keep an eye on is when does Jet go to the lunchbox to get those flippers. Meanwhile, we saw butter on the desert torch, and I don't think we will be seeing that butter picked up.
Yeah, quite unlikely, I think. We've got the Skullwood small key. And another map to GT. So that's the most useless piece of paper since my liberal arts degree. I mean, what? I don't have one of those.
Alright. Checkerboard Cave just having $300.
Alright, so Jet Dip Mire got some sick things. We'll see where Kohrek decides to go. He's going to get Ether here. Jet going to take the Fire Rod and go to Skull Woods with it.
Is Smith's Chain done yet? Yes. We had Vanilla Tempered Sword at Jeremiah. Lunchbox had the flippers, which sets up the chain that we've been on for the past 20 minutes, and Kohrek is doing Ice Palace.
Yeah, unfortunately, that Cane of Samaria is not going to be in here, so he can't, get the glorious icebreaker clip going on.
Thing is that unless this Galaxy Brain continues, the Fire Rod in a lot of ways is going to be the end of the line in this logical play for Jet. Unless he decides to go up and dip like the top of Turtle Rock, he's going to have, he's going to have the Ice Palace play that Kohrek's doing. There is Hammer Pegs, which neither runner did. Skullwoods is the other... Well, and now having the other 5-6 crystal, the Pyramid Fairy's open. But for those who are just joining us, so the logic that we've had up to this point is no mirror, Lunchbox having the flippers. Those flippers logically get you over to East Dark World, where Catfish had the hammer. Both bows were in Pod.
Not to mention the flippers logically unlocked the big key of Eastern, which was required for the green pendant.
Which was required for the green pendant, which gets us that ether medallion that we need for both Mire and Turtle Rock. And then Mire holding the mirror, the Cane of Samaria, and the Swamp Small Key. Or was it the Desert Small Key?
Both.
Oh, okay, or both.
Yeah, the Swamp Small Key was in the lobby, the Desert Small Key was in the spike chest. There was only one chest, or no, two chests in Mire there that were complete garbo.
Looks like Jet is going to get his flippers now. He will do hammer pegs now, and then you assume he does Lunchbox after that.
Interestingly enough, Kohrek has found the other Ice Palace small key within Ice Palace itself. Oh, hello there, Half Magic.
Useful.
I certainly won't say no to it.
Okay, Jet gets a lunchbox. Gonna walk over to South Grove Cave on his way to turning in for flippers.
Ice Palace, are you okay?
Seriously, what is this seed? Like, what in the world?
Just when you thought you couldn't clear Ice Palace. Or full clear Ice Palace.
Alright, Jet has flippers.
Yeah, and Jet looks like he's going to go to Swamp.
I like the play.
I mean, going to Mire there just seems so good in hindsight, but there is no way I would have come up with that one. I was way too concerned about things like Ice Palace and, you know, other shenanigans.
Alright, well, Kohrek is done with Ice Palace.
Oh, yeah! That's why Jet didn't go to Ice, because he didn't have the flippers until just now.
That is true.
And looks like Kohrek is going to get a metric butt ton of items here as well.
Alright, so let's see what we're waiting on at this point. We need Ice Rod. We need another Ice Rod called the Desert Palace Big Key. We need another Ice Rod called the Mire Big Key. I can continue the joke of the Thieves Town Big Key. And,
the Desert Palace Ice Rod, the Misery Mire Ice Rod, the Thieves Town Ice Rod, the Taco Ice Rod. Wait, that's not the Ganon's Tower Ice Rod.
We do need at least 2 more Turtle Rock keys.
The literal actual Ice Rod. The shaved Ice Rod. I don't know why that got me so hard.
Oh, that was good. Map of Desert doesn't count in that. Alright, Kohrek has his glitch stick. Speaking of glitch sticks, Jet. Well, no, you could do a diver down here, but Jet is gonna do it ye old-fashioned way.
Yeah, the diver down here is... You're not really saving that much time. Alright, so Kohrek will be shortly getting his swamp key and his mirror and his desert key.
And there are the boots.
Okay, boots on left side swamp. That is kind of straight garbo, and the Turtle Rock key, though, that turns out to be probably necessary. So at least the boots are over there with something that you will definitely need, or more than likely.
And here is the diver down from Jet. Kohrek has his mirror. Jet has executed the diver down. There's the other Aga key.
Alright, Castle Tower Part 2 unlocked, and that will do it for that weird check. Yeah, nothing in Lumberjack Cave.
Jet working on Argus. And that will finish up Swamp from here.
And a very nice silver arrow to the face to take down Argus. Piece of heart, and that's another crystal. Now, keep in mind, since this is all dungeons, the remaining dungeons we have, some number of them are going to be pendant dungeons, and it's a good possibility that the necessary item for or the necessary keys for those pendant dungeons could be in Ganon's tower.
That is entirely true. Jet, meanwhile, heading over to Pyramid Fairy. Alright. Nothing much in there. Pyramid Fairy giving fairies today.
Yeah, just handing out children, apparently.
This is a play for the Aga Tower. Now, some people... Well, when this is non-key sanity all dungeons, you'll see runners save Aga until the very end.
Yeah, it has a couple of nice side effects there. One, you get to finish it up at the end. You're right there, and also it refills your health and magic, unlike finishing Aga 2.
Mm-hmm. So, although you would expect, what I've kind of seen with most runners, if they're doing a key sanity all dungeons, they're going to go ahead and finish this now.
Yeah, there's no reason not to. If you come back later, you're doing that section of the front again. Why would you do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so Kohrek gonna deal with Skull Woods real quick. So, despite the apparent divergence, we've still got a fairly close race in crystal and dungeon count.
And chat, flooding chat with numbers between 0 and 15 of how many blue balls do we think the old wizard's gonna throw at our runners today. As usual, it's the same 5 sequence. First one is a reflectable shot. The next 3 are randomized between blue balls and reflects. Hey, there's one. 5th one is we throw a bolt of lightning and then we spin again.
One of these days, I'm going to find a way to glitch it and reflect the bolt of lightning. Not really.
Kohrek is going to go ahead and make his swamp play. There's 3. There's 4. And that's it. 4 it is. Had a bunch of 4 guesses. And Subpar Chess Player was the first one to guess 4. So, congratulations. You won a very arbitrary game on the internet.
Good George.
Now Jet is going to make his Ice Palace play.
Now, this is going to be a slightly easier Ice Palace, I think. Basically, because one, we've got the Fire Rod, so don't have to do as much burninating. Got half magic, so it's easier. And 2, and 3, that is, we have the Cane of Samaria, so we can do some ice breaking.
So as we're starting to see these runners double back on each other, this is usually a good time to remind people that if you are enjoying this race between Kohrek and Jet082, and well, I certainly hope you are, please be sure to give both of them a follow on Twitch for the entertainment that they are giving us today. So, since we're alright, so we're gonna see Kohrek do the diver down glitch that we referred to earlier. You basically let the bomb go off right before you go through the door. Set up the diver down, since we've already flooded the key. As you walk through, that's when the bomb finally takes effect and the crystal flips. And now you just make your way over to left side swamp.
Meanwhile, the icebreaker is happening on the right side of the screen for Jet. He's doing some buffer strats to try to make it work.
You've got to be
having a little trouble setting it up.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting all the way. I think he's got that part set. I don't think he's getting all the way to the wall, though, before he places the cane block down. That looks like the right pixel. There we go. That's it. To be honest, I usually pause buffer to make sure that I get my controller in the right setup.
Yeah, I do a lot of sword buffered inputs. Alright, so Kohrek heading to the back of Swamp, where we know that the only major item is the swamp, or the small key to Castle Tower.
So where do our runners go from here? Because we've seen both of these dungeons. You can go into Turtle Rock.
I mean,
we can only really do...
That's basically all there is left.
Yeah, there's Graveyard Ledge. We haven't seen that. Flanctuary is available.
True. So taking care of those north 3 items before going to Turtle Rock's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Cipher Signal. Flanctuary is the locations that flank the sanctuary location, which would be Bonk Rock's King's 2-man Graveyard Ledge.
To be fair, they're not a widely used name. It's basically Jax Reffy's thing.
Really? I got that from you.
No. I did not make that up, sir.
I'm pretty
you got it
sure
from somebody else.
I'm pretty sure I got that from you, but anyway, hey, synced up crystal raises.
Cross product. There we go.
Okay.
That makes sense. That sounds like the sort of thing he would say.
It also might have been Shades.
Could have been.
Shades might have gotten it from cross product, and that's where I got it. So who knows? Anyway, hey, this is probably a flanktuary play on Shade's side, or Jet side.
Jet side. Words are a thing.
Words are definitely a thing.
Oh, right. Ridley has it. That makes sense. Alright, Bonk Rocks have a big key. It's Thieves Town. Well, now we got something else to do before going to Turtle Rock.
Yeah. Well, we don't have that small key, so that would be a little bit of a problem.
Graveyard Ledge. For Jet, what do we got? Just a piece of art. The Thieves Town front has been dipped, just not the back.
But
and
there's
the small key to Thieves Town. What? Game.
So.
Game.
What?
Stop it.
This seed is just. Oh man. So like Pod. All right, let's review. Pod had both bows. Mire had Mirror, Cane, Desert Small, and Swamp Small. And now
basically all of which are going to be required without having the big key for Mire.
And now we just saw both Thieves' keys in the flanktuary locations.
This is a game. In the words of one of the developers, Rando is a trap.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fun trap, but it's a trap.
Alright, so Kohrek is on his act of play. Jet is going to be finishing up. Jet is going to be finishing up Thieves Town here. And there's the book.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like you at least have to do Bombo's tablet before you go up the mountain.
That might be a reasonable idea. Yeah, this is a really bad library. It's awful hard to check a book out of this place.
Very true.
Considering the book just happened... Oh, I didn't see the kappa.
So Kohrek is going to do their flanctuary checks now.
Alright, so where's Jet headed? He's headed to Turtle Rock. Maybe check Ether Tablet on the...
You would... Yep, that's what he's gonna do. He also has not done Hera.
Yep.
So...
The only thing he'll find of any reasonable value is the Pod small key, and he's already done Pod.
There's another key to Turtle Rock.
Very nice. It was definitely a good call to head into Thieves Town before heading up here. Kohrek is going to check the lumberjack here because he didn't do that earlier in the seed. And he's just going to go get the item. It's going to turn out to be a map. Oh, it's the Hyrule Castle map.
Useless as always. Kohrek is going to go ahead and go back into Thieves Town and finish that off. So, we're still looking for two... We're still looking for two big keys. Mire, which cannot be in GT because it's a crystal. Desert, we're not sure. Because neither runner, let's be honest, has done a map check to tell us whether Desert is a crystal, Desert or Turtle Rock are crystals or pendants. We still need that ice rod too.
Yeah, and of course we need the GT big key.
This is true.
Considering it's all dungeons, we definitely need the ice rod. So we'll see if Kohrek decides to check Bombo's tablet. Perhaps that could be one of our keys. Well, Spike Cave was the cape. Alright, Jet now making his way into Turtle Rock. We've got 3 small keys and a big key. Means we can do most, if not all, of the dungeon except for the boss. I figure the odds of a vanilla key being in here is pretty large.
I mean, that was going to be the question I was about to ask you. Do you go ahead and open the lava chest, or do you save the key, hoping that you don't need it, and don't want to have to be searching for the 4th one?
So what I do in this scenario, unless I find the 4th key on the way, is I go outside, I check Mimic Cave, I check the big chest, I go to the end of Laser Bridge, and I definitely don't check the safety door, because then I either, die or take a mirror if I don't find the ice rod of the 4th key, and check the lava chest. Alright, Kohrek's gonna get some half magic. And it does look like he's sort of checking some of these South Dark World locations, so there's a good chance he puts Bombo's tablet in with this.
There's another Skullwood small key. So again, 3 pseudo ice rods we're looking for. Mire big key, Desert big key, and the ice rod itself.
Alright, so moment of truth here for Kohrek.
Chad also reminding me GT big key is one of those ice rods. So, Bombo's tablet. What do we got? A big 20.
Womp womp.
Alright. Next up will be the Mimic Cave. I mean, at this point, we're pretty much down to these Turtle Rock checks. There's a GT small key, so... Because there's really not much left. And so... Really, it's going to come down to the execution. Kohrek is a little bit behind, has been behind the pace of Jet for quite a while. There's a big key, it's Mire. And so it's really, I think it's going to come down to execution, but even though Kohrek's a little bit behind Jet, it's not something that, you know, a death on a boss, a troll arm fall, Ganon fall, like, this is not over yet at all.
Yeah, it's definitely not an insurmountable league yet.
So at this point, if we don't find the ice rod here, well, Kohrek did not open the lava chest. So, very well could be in there. But, alright. Laser Bridge, there's the ice rod!
And the big key to desert.
So we just need GT big key. There's a shovel! And a big 20. Now it's possible that GT big key could still be in the lava chest.
So based on what we're seeing here, I'm thinking it's pretty likely that Turtle Rock is actually a pendant dungeon. And that the last Turtle Rock key is somewhere in GT.
Could be. I mean, just the way you described that, that is possible. We'll know here in a minute, of course.
It's also entirely possible that the lava chest contains the fourth small key, and then all bets are...
Alright, well, there's a piece of heart. And a pendant, you were right. Which means desert is the other crystal.
Yep.
Mark Steele, since they need to finish DP anyway, would it be worth it to go grab butter off Torch? Not really. The only real way that is a benefit is with Ganon. It's lava chest is the mushroom.
Gross. Also,
anyway,
that's not good for Kohrek.
No, because now he can't finish Turtle Rock. Anyway, what I was trying to say earlier before that mushroom came in, it is possible to one-cycle Ganon on Phase 4. You need 12 sword slashes or Phase 1 and 2, sorry. 12 sword slashes for Phase 1 and 12 more for Phase 2. If you have butter, you're guaranteed to get through it a lot better because it's only 6. But it is possible, with most top runners, know how to do it with Tempered Sword and 12. So you may, some runners may decide to go get butter, but I would not expect Jet or Kohrek to do it.
So my thing is, if they're going to go in and check the big chest for, say, the GT big key, then why not pick it up while you're there?
I mean, I agree with you. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me if they would save those few seconds, not worrying about it. But I mean, I've been wrong before.
I mean, GT Big Key can be basically anywhere, yes. All right, Jet to Vitreous. Where are we doing?
Wow, blink and you miss it. I don't think I've seen a Vitreous fight that short ever.
See, Vitreous' problem is he didn't blink and it left his eyes exposed.
True. Alright, so now Kohrek has got a problem. He burned the key on the bridge. And if this mushroom is not the GT Big Key, this could be a pretty big issue. Yeah, it's a big 20. So now he's got to find the 4th Turtle Rock key. And Jet does not bother with butter. He's just going straight, after checking the big chest, going straight for Lammo.
Yeah, I figure maybe he goes to check the big chest after Landmo if he can't find it.
Wait, I thought he did check the big chest
Wait,
already.
yeah, okay, never mind, he did. He just doesn't want the butter sword, that's fine.
Mm. To be fair to your earlier point, like, I personally am not that good with the 1-in-1 cycle on Ganon. So if I knew butter was there, I would personally pick it up, but I can see how runners of Jet and Kohrek's caliber would not worry about it.
Alright, Jet now has every dungeon complete except Ganon's Tower. But we are still missing that ever so elusive GT Big Key.
Which means there are 22 locations that I think the GT Big Key could be. There is a shovel that could screw with this. But hey!
There's shovel, there's pedestal.
This is true. But hey, where's the fun in not being able to do a GT Big Key guessing game?
Magic Bat, you know, that sort of thing.
Don't be ruined by fun, Dr. Bob.
I mean that's what I'm designed to do.
one thing we also need to be on the lookout for is, again, Kohrek needs the 4th TR key in order to be able to finish Turtle Rock. Alright. Yeah, Pedestal could have GT Big Key, but it can't have Turtle Rock Small Key. Number 1, sticks. Number 2, $50. Kohrek is gonna go right.
I mean Jet, but yeah.
Words, hard.
Correct. Got the 4th T-Rock key.
Alright. That was 3 through 6. Seven is a big 20. Eight. Piece of heart, 9. Piece of heart, 10. Heart container, 11. Bloopy. $12. Bombs.
And Kohrek will also be heading up to GT.
$14, map of Turtle Rock. 15, sticks. 16 more sticks. 17 bombs.
All right, so the chest possibilities are dwindling for Jet. All right, up to Bob's chest. Hi, Bob.
18, big 20.
And it's Ice Armos time.
Mm, 19. Sticks. 20. Big
Swamp Piggy! There it is.
21.
The debate is real.
Wow. All right, 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 30 some odd seconds, Jet082 is in go mode.
All right, Jet making his way up the gauntlet. We've got several rooms of enemies, followed by a mini boss and some other shenanigans. Yeah, Kohrek decided to check the lava chest in Turtle Rock, which gave him the mushroom, but unfortunately also led him to leaving a small key, and would be unable to get it until here in Ganon's tower. He's about to pick up the fourth G-Rock key.
So he gets it there. Jet, meanwhile, is finished Lambo 2. And Kohrek decides to bail. Probably heading back for TR to finish.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you do here. Alright, Jet on to the last few chests upstairs.
Time for Troll Arm 2. And now it's time for Jet's geometry test.
It's like, what's the cosine of bodied?
This is where my math minor would help, but really doesn't matter because it's time to fight the big pig.
Toot, 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 toot. And it actually looks like Kohrek has decided to just be done. He's got a lot of confidence in his opponent.
Yep. So even though he forfeited, Jet still has to finish for this to be official. Alright, 1 silver arrow to the face, gets the torch glitch. 2, 3, 1 more to go. And the interview that everyone has been hoping for 2 seasons will most likely not be happening because I basically just have to stall for time until the fanfare finishes. And once that's done, the interview dream is dead because Jet082 with the Phendrana Drifters finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 41 seconds. GG's to Jet. The interview dream is dead.
Well played, well played.
And joining us in chat is Jet082. GG.
Hey, GG.
So, that was... Dr. Bob and I had a couple exclamations during that race with the item placement.
Yeah,
Tell me something. Is magic real, and are you a wizard?
So, okay, so in the early seed, I was like running out of things to do. And I'm doing some one-offs, like I did Ice Try Cave and Agina, and I'm like, I realized like I had purple chests and the one chest in Castle Tower left. And I'm like, I could go do those things, or we could just do the Quern jump. I had like 4 pod small keys at that point, so I'm like, I just want to go do pod. Like, maybe I'll find a Castle Tower key, or I'll get like Mire or something, so I can do those 2 things that I knew my progression was at. Then pod happened. No, Hammer and Catfish followed by pod. Like, what? Both bows
Exactly.
and a small key over there. I'm like, okay, that seems good to me. And yeah, I just went from there.
Yeah. Also, shout outs to the Misery Mire dip being literally everything.
Oh man, the Mire. I was so glad to finally get that Mire. And I think, oh shoot, what was it? The seed like required you to actually do the purple chest without the Mire, because that was flippers, which led to everything that I ended up getting anyway. So I did the blacksmith early because I knew with flute I wanted to do Sick Kid along with the blacksmith while I was there. But yeah, that was technically required by logic.
Yep. And like, you want to talk about required by logic? Technically required by logic was to get the... You had to go to Hera to get that Misery Mire small key.
Oh,
and other places to get the cane, because that was on the left side of Mire.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about
And then the big
I
key
remember
of Mire was
vanilla.
in Turtle Rock, because of course it was.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. I just knew I got Kane in Mire. I didn't even think about the key logic at that point. And I was missing keys. This was sort of a stupid seed.
Yes.
It was very stupid. Alright, we are joined by the members of Team Faraime. We'll give an interview if we win. GG's, guys.
GG's.
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah, GG's, dude.
It was a fun season.
So, Kohrek, how you feeling about that race, man?
Dude, I think my route went very well. Like
What is going on here?
I'm in turtle. No, I just save and quit it. Dude, I don't know how I lost. I have to rewatch this one definitely.
Yeah.
I'm very confused now.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
guys
can't
were
believe you
watching it.
subdued this.
It was just unfortunate, but bad
Yeah.
things happen. It's just rando. Rando's gonna rando. But I think you played great, Kohrek. So
Yeah, good job, Kohrek.
All right, I think we have an imposter in here. I think we have the real
Okay,
Kohrek.
there's Kohrek. Hi.
Hi. Yo, go.
So,
I don't even know what's going on right now.
I have to ask about the lava chest in Turtle Rock. What possessed you to go for that instead of saving it for later?
can we let Gerdo answer the question?
I'm a Llama Lana main now. So, yeah, I just lost concentration for about half a second when I got the bottom right pokey, and that's all that was.
Oh, so you didn't actually intend on opening the door, it just happened.
Correct.
That's what you meant by bottom right pokey. I was like, what is going on? Okay. Yeah. And then, of course, it turned out to be in GT, so that was just... I can understand how you probably felt like it was over at that point. And you weren't wrong. But yeah, throughout the seed, it was really... We had some really strong plays from both of you. Kohrek, you kind of most of the time stayed in the logic. You got the flippers that unlocked East Dark World, while Jet decided to do some kern jumping and get out of the way, and was able to get those flippers with the mirror. So that saved a little bit of time. Also got the cane before going into Ice Palace, so got to do the icebreaker and that sort of thing. But yeah,
Very poorly, I might add.
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything.
I don't know why my fingers just stopped working at that point. I'm like, why is this not working? It happens. GG's, Kohrek. The real Kohrek.
Yeah. GG's.
So, unfortunately, this is the point where we bid farewell to the dream of Fraime giving an interview for yet another season. Ak, Gem, Kohrek, as the winners of the Village of Outcasts division. How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel this season went for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, our group stage went... There was a group stage, right? It went very well, if there was one. Yeah. We kind of bet everyone we expected to beat. And we knew competition was going to be rough in the playoffs, so... Yeah, we kind of wanted to win the tournament, obviously, because everyone wants to see the Fraime interview, right? But, I mean, in the end, the competition is tough, and the variance is very high, so sometimes you lose. And we're gonna come back stronger next season. Maybe change out some of our washed-up players, and then, yeah.
All we need to do is get me on a team called Fraime will give an interview if we lose. And then it'll happen.
You can run that by him. He does accept bid offers for any royalties or rights to his interviews. He's actually getting rich off of this as we speak.
All right. Meanwhile, Jet, you and your Phendrana Drifters are going to be going up against Team Awesome in the Dark World Conference Finals, and you will, from there, we'll then see Light World Conference Finals with Kinda Rando retired and Team Kappa. So, Jet, how are you feeling with your team heading up into those conference finals?
I think we're pretty excited, reaching the top 4 teams here. Definitely, I mean, super glad that we got this far, and hopefully we can just make it to the finals. That'd be a lot of fun. So
Absolutely.
pretty
Absolutely. All right. Well, I think that is going to do it for us here. Thank you to Kohrek and Jet for the very fascinating race. Again, everyone, please be sure to give them follows on Twitch for this exciting race. Also want to thank our guests, Act the Boker, Gerdo, Jem, for coming in and entertaining us with the interview. Our tracker was Dark Diplomat, doing a great job keeping track of all of those items along the way, especially in a key standy seat. And Dr. Bob, it is always a pleasure sharing the commentary booth with you.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure to you as well.
Apparently, Dr. Bob just got dragged back to the
Correct.
setup channel. Apparently, someone just dragged you over to the setup channel. So,
Okay.
I think before we get any more shenanigans going, I'm just gonna say thank you all for watching. We'll see you next mission.
All right. Good night, everybody.